from someplace you've never seen her before. It's Samantha Brown in her very own house.
I do have one.
How many days a year do you spend in your own domicile?
I probably spend at least 180 days in my own domicile. But now I'm worried. I think maybe might see things that are incriminating, and I realize I still have Christmas decorations that I haven't put away from last year. Right back there.
Well, if you leave them out long enough, they come back into style.
Exactly. I'm right once a year. Just leave them out.
And are those videotapes?
Oh no, they're boxes.
Oh, okay.
She's got Betamax. So your new show just premiered this month, 50/50. What a great idea. Tell us about it.
So myself and my co-host Chris Grundy, we ambush people on the street. And if we like you, we start, questions, like little questions like, hey, do you like to travel? How often do you get to travel? And if we get a good feeling, good vibe, we will take you on a 50-hour trip worth $50,000. The only catch is that you have to drop everything and leave with us immediately. Literally, we have a car there waiting. We need to get to your place and pack. You have 10 minutes to pack a bag, grab your passport if we're going somewhere international, and then we are on a plane. So people have to make calls to their boss, to their dog sitter, their parents to see if they can come in to take care of the children. And it is just a whirlwind trip of fun. And we've been all over. We do domestic destinations as well as international.
Wow! What a great way to start your day. You're walking now. Don't people recognize you and know something's up when they see you?
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely. I get called out, or what's really nice is that the boss that they have to call, who they have to call, knows me, and so they understand that it's legit, because
Right.
I think a lot of it is just really, you're really
Can
gonna.
tell the boss the truth?
Yes, oh, absolutely. Well, the cameras are on them, and the boss hopefully is going to watch the show, so they've got to be somewhat
Has
truthful.
anybody ever said no?
Oh, a lot of people say no. A
Really?
lot.
No.
Yeah.
How sad.
To a free $50,000 trip.
Exactly. My goodness.
With
And
Sam Brown. You're not going with that other guy that eats bugs. You're
No,
going with Sam Brown.
Andrew, no, and that's important too, that you have to make sure that you enjoy their company, because there's nothing worse than being in a great place with a piece of crap person.
Yeah, absolutely. And so far, we've done a good job. But Grundy and I have known now what questions to ask them. Our questions have become a little more pointed in a way of determining what their personality is. And I can say that actually, if you're like, hey, would you go on a 50-hour trip? And they're like, yeah, of course, I would love to go. I can do it. Yeah, I can drop everything. Sometimes we're like, okay, thank you. Just, we'll keep you in mind. But we love the people who are a bit reticent, who kind of don't know what this weekend is going to be. We love that. We love really disrupting people's lives in a big way. And so we just make sure that they're the type of people who we know we're going to have, there's going to be some challenges. There's going to be, it's not just going to be easy for these people. This is going to be a tremendous amount of fun.
And travel should disrupt your life. That's the whole point of being someplace else, is interacting with different cultures and coming back a different person, right? You don't want to, It should be disruptive.
I totally agree. And I think that's why this is such a powerful travel show, because it does show the power of travel to disrupt our lives in the best way possible. And that you can quite literally change your life in 2 days. And travel is one of the very few things we have in our lives that enable us to do that. So let's do it more. So I think it's a great lesson when people watch the show, like, okay, these two people might not ambush me, but why can't we go on a quick trip and just do something fun and spontaneous and learn some lessons that we learned from the show? Maybe $50,000 less, but hey, why can't we do this for ourselves? But as you know, both of you, travel just is just one of the greatest the greatest things we have in life to really
consider
market
it an escape.
Yes, yeah.
Go away and leave everything behind, and it's a brand new place, brand new people, great new stories. That's why I travel.
And it's also humanizing. It's easy to hate someone from the other side of the world because you don't know them, but when you're sitting in their house having dinner that their booby made, now they're suddenly an individual, and I think it's a great way to build bridges across cultures and really open up people's minds.
Yeah, I totally agree. Actually, the last trip we were on was in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, tell me about that.
We went to the Persian Gulf. Now, for the last 15 years of my life, the only time I have ever heard the Persian Gulf mentioned, it's usually in a bad sense. There's usually something really not very good going on over
Right.
there. And yet you get there and it is this beautiful body of water. There's sailboats and tourism boats, and it's a gorgeous coastline, and it just gives you it just struck me. I'm like, my goodness, this is an absolutely beautiful place where people vacation. And yet, so just being there for 20 minutes undid like 10 years of nightly newscasts,
Right.
So, but, that was an amazing destination. We actually partnered with the Today Show. We ambushed people on Rockefeller Center and took them to Abu Dhabi. And our surprise guest was Al Roker. So
Wow.
yeah, it was a pretty momentous trip.
What is Al like to travel with?
He's
Does he wear a Speedo?
Yes, and it was awesome. No, he is great, and what a professional. I mean, we have a red-eye flight, and there is no waiting. He gets up, he gets out, washed up, and we go directly to his live broadcast on the Today Show, where he has to then sit there for 3 hours, being present, being coherent, and we got breaks, but he was on camera immediately as we got off a 14-hour flight. I mean, there's nothing like watching someone who just knows what they are doing. And then when the cameras are off, just as amiable, just as knowledgeable as you would imagine him as he's on camera. So we had a great time with him.
Had either of you been there before to Abu
To-
Dhabi?
No, I've never been anywhere in the Middle East. And so for me, it was a really special destination in that sense, because I would love to spend more time in the Middle East. When you talk about going to cultures that people may fear,
Just
and then
totally foreign culture. I mean, especially as a blonde woman, you must have
exactly.
stuck out.
Yes. Oh, blonde. Thank you, Mark. That's great. So I'm always impressed when people call me blonde. Thank you. It's a lot of money, this hair. Yes. But there's actually, it's Abu Dhabi as well as Dubai, which is next door, about 45 minutes. I mean, they're very international cities.
Mhm.
So you actually see more expats and internationals than you do Emiratis. And for me, that was almost the only downside to being there, is that it's such an international city. I was like, well, I really want to get the most I can out of being in this culture. And you still can, but you have to find pockets of it. It's not just all pervasive. So,
And what has been the craziest story that you can tell us about doing the show with these strangers?
oh my gosh. I think, let's see. Huh.
Something must have happened in Abu Dhabi. Who went? Who were the contestants or the Americans that went with you to Abu Dhabi?
So they were in the audience, and they actually had met each other in the line to get into the Rockefeller Center area where we were having our sort of contest.
You're kidding?
They-
A
they-
guy and a girl?
Yep, they met for the very first time, and we decided, and they kind of paired up as a couple because we needed couples. We picked three, and they had to then compete on the Today Show to go to Abu Dhabi, which is very different from our normal show, how we shoot it. We basically ambush people, and they come with us. There's no competition there. But they had met just right there. Now, and also we had another couple who we saw her, and so we went to ambush her, and she's like, well, no, I have to meet this guy for the first time. We have a business meeting. We're like, well, who are you meeting? And she's like, I think it's him. So we called him out, and we started a conversation with both of them, and they're like, well, how about you complete this meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming? And they had not met, and they decided to go with us as well.
So it's like a dating game.
It's a dating game. And
One room or two for them.
Oh, two, definitely. Yeah. Yes, there was no, yeah. I think he was going to be engaged soon.
Uh-huh.
He
And
ended-
Roker just took turns sleeping in all the different rooms.
Oh. With a Speedo.
Well, I think the couple who we took to Abu Dhabi, they got the Palace Suite at the Emirati Palace Hotel, which is one of the most expensive, most luxurious hotels ever built. And it was, oh my goodness, it was bigger than like a Bed Bath and Beyond. I mean, it was just huge.
Wow.
And so while they shared a suite, there was probably 10 rooms in that suite. So,
And your trips, these trips on 50/50, which is on the Travel Channel, you're spending $50,000 in 50 hours.
50 hours, yeah. And you'd be amazed how fast that goes because we're paying for first class tickets
Mhm.
last minute. So we, ambushed a couple in Salt Lake City and took them to the outback of Australia. And their tickets alone were $20,000. I mean, so it can go quickly in the sense of transportation and in hotels. And one thing about the show that I always try to make a point of is that it really isn't a show about over the top luxury. And that's what means a lot to me. This is a show where we get to know the culture as much as we can in 50 hours, but we really try to show what happens on an everyday basis there that is really special. This is not lifestyles of the rich and famous. This is not about being totally unattainable travel. These are things that you would absolutely want to do if you had more time there. And we're just able to get there quicker and in style.
And these people are lucky because they're traveling with arguably the world's greatest concierge. You've been everywhere. You've done everything, and what a great way into a strange place, to be your wingman.
Yeah, I mean,
lucky people. People are going to be flocking, looking for Sam Brown everywhere. See, where is she now? Let's go stand next to her.
Right, just kind of shadow her around.
And say no when she asks, do you want to go?
Yeah, play hard to get. That's what we should do. We'll just go stand outside her house. You and me.
See, I would have failed. I would have said yes immediately.
Yeah, you got to play hard to get.
Oh, I don't know, Yenny. I think I would take you in a second.
Yay!
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's an enthusiasm we're also going for. I mean, there's a lot we're looking at, but I would say we had a few people who were just a little too cool for school, and we're like, yeah, we'd rather be with people who we just want to enjoy 50 hours with. So it really does come down to who Grundy and I would love to spend, because we're with each other the entire time. I mean, in cars and planes, I mean, maybe aside from checking into our hotel room at night, the next morning it's like 5 a.m. we're back. So we definitely want to have a great time with these people as well.
What a great show. The show is called 50/50. When is it on, Sam?
Sundays at 7 p.m.
Perfect. Well,
Yes.
Samantha Brown, thank you so much for joining us on our first show of season 4 on A Fork on the Road. I hope we run into you down the road sometime soon.
Yes.
Standing right next to you.
Thank you. That's right. And I don't know you, so maybe I can take the two of you now. We don't know each other.
Never
No,
saw you
not at
before
all.
in my life.
I don't know who you are.
Cute little hot blonde. No, never seen her before.
Bon voyage, mon ami.
Yay!
Take care.